Sweet surrender as I love, serve, and remember.
Oh, wow. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, you guys I'm just feeling myself just perking up. Woo, this feels so good. Good. You know, I was kind of backed up. I've been kind of busy lately. I don't know what's going on. But I realized that I was going to need a topic for this morning. And I didn't have a clue. Okay. And I was talking to two of my absolute favorite sisters in a text. And I just added to it, oh, by the way, I need a topic for Sunday morning. Can you give me one? And they gave me a combination of this topic, overcoming appearances, because they can sure be convincing. Okay? So I want to thank Reverend Mary Jo and Cher Woolard for my topic this morning. Thank you. You did good. Because you know what? As I was going through it, I realized that this is absolutely something that I hold very sacred. And that's being a practitioner. Because that's exactly what practitioners are required to do. To overcome the appearances before us, overcome the appearances that people come to us with. And it can be kind of tricky at times. So that little phrase they added, because they can sure be convincing. How many of you agree with that? Yes. Absolutely, absolutely. So, but it was so wonderful because yesterday I kind of got off on being a practitioner and what it means to be a practitioner. And as I was working with this topic, I realized, yeah, that's exactly what this is about. Because you know what? I don't care whether we have a license or not. Every single person in this room is a practitioner. Yes. Okay? So that's the thing that you have to remember. When you find yourself in a space, don't feel forlorn if you don't have someone right there to help you. Someone right there to know the truth of you. Someone right there to treat for you. Because you know what? You can do that too. It's in you. It's in all of us. So, anyway, today we're talking about appearances. And what appearances are the things that we see and hear and feel, experience. Appearances can be a diagnosis that feels very final. A bank balance that seems like a verdict. Yeah. A relationship dynamic that seems impossible at times. Even a world condition that many of us may be feeling today that can be overwhelming. Appearances can really be convincing. The science of mind, in science of mind, we don't deny appearances. And I think that's what some people think. You know, some people hear what we're saying and they say, well, you know, they just don't even believe that you can be sick or you can be broke or any of those things. I think Cousin Stephanie said it really beautifully yesterday when she said, we don't deny a fact in order to affirm the truth. And that's what your practitioners are doing. We don't deny any of these facts. I've had diagnoses before that seemed final. That bank balance really did feel like a verdict. It felt like there was no way out. And that relationship, oh, don't get me started. Oh. See? And the world conditions can feel overwhelming. But you know what? That's where we come in. And you've heard me say this before, but I just cannot pass this up. This is our time. Those of us who study a teaching like this, where in spite of appearances, we know the truth. In spite of appearances, we are standing in that truth. And when we're standing in that truth, the words of Dr. David Hawkins come to mind. That 20-80 rule, that's what I call it. No, actually it's 15-80, but I think I say 20 because we're growing. We're growing. And what he says is that 15% of the population with a consciousness over 200 has the power to counterbalance the consciousness of the other 85% of the population. So maybe sometimes you may look at the situations in the world and say, well, you know, Reverend Dar says that, you know, we got this. We're bigger than this. We know greater than this. But you know what? We're feeling like, well, there's so many more of them than us. So many more of them that are not knowing the truth, that are not standing in the truth. Dr. Hawkins is saying 1585. That's the power of truth. That's the power of truth. And that's what we're talking about this morning. So the situations that we experience and that people present to us, those situations may be real as an experience. They may be real as a condition. They may be real as something that's seeking our attention. But they are not the ultimate, meaning they are not final, meaning they are not the truth of us. They don't have the final word. And they don't possess authority over the spiritual truth. Holmes told us in the Science of Mind textbook, he said, everything is as real as it is supposed to be, but nothing, no thing has self-determination. We alone have self-determination. So there's a difference between denying an appearance and refusing to give it self-determination. You can look at that illness, whatever it is, and say, yeah, you're real, but I got the self-determination. I get to decide what happens next. That's mine. Yesterday I talked about receiving a bill, a huge bill, from maybe the IRS. Yeah, we don't have to go deep into that one, do we? But the important thing is that we have to pay attention to is who's opening the bill? What consciousness is opening that bill? Is it a consciousness that knows? I am provided. I am supplied. I may not know where it's coming from, but that's not my job either. My job is to know that it must come. It must be revealed. One of the first things we learn in this teaching is how is none of my business. So look back at that illness. I get that diagnosis. Who's receiving it? Is it the person who feels absolutely powerless? Who feels there's absolutely nothing I can do about this? But you know what? There's always something we can do. And you know what that something is? It's something that I have to do many times a day. Be still and know. Oh, I just got chills. Just be still and know that I am God. There's something here, something greater than this feeling that this whatever it is that I'm feeling after receiving that diagnosis, there's something here that remembers. Something here that is greater than any experience we can ever have. And that's what we're being told to do. Be still and know it's here. Be still and know it's right where you are. So it's important that you understand that there's a difference between denying an appearance and refusing to give it that self-determination. We don't give up that self-determination. Yeah, that's real. That's real. But it's not the truth. You know, I hear so many people say, well, illness is just an illusion. No, it isn't. Illness is real. Okay, don't clutch your pearls now. Okay. Illness is real. But it's just not the truth. Why can it not be an illusion? Because Holmes told us, he said, illusion is all in the thinking. What comes out is proof of what you were thinking. That's not an illusion. That's showing what has been on your mind. That's showing you what you have been believing. But we don't have to just take a rug and throw it over whatever this is and say, well, that's an illusion. No, it's real. And it's telling you what's been on your mind. And so what do we want to do? We want to look at, well, what am I thinking? You know why? Because that's one of the gifts of the experience that we're moving through. And there's a gift in every experience. How many of you have heard me say that before? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because there is. And when something is going really, 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 as my sister would say, really, 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 really wrong, it's important that we start looking for the gift. There has to be something in this for me. There has to be something, because I really and truly do believe that this is a friendly universe. And that what it is showing us is something that is to help us to move from where we are to where it is that we want to be, no matter what the appearance is. So we're not here to pretend that experiences don't exist, because they do. They do. We're here to remember that no condition contains within itself the power to define us. That's really powerful. But Reverend Dar, you don't know. I know what you're saying, but you don't know what I'm going through. I know what I've been through. And I've been through some tough times, some scary times. But just getting through them shows you how powerful you are. Just getting through them shows you that you are being supported every moment of every day. I went through one of the toughest times of my life. And I remember, money had been tight. Everything, anything that could go wrong that year went wrong. And I stood. And I was afraid at times, but I stood. And that Christmas Eve, I'll never forget. I woke up that morning and I wanted to go home. I wanted to be with my family. Well, I didn't have very much money. Here I am looking at an airplane ticket for Christmas Eve, okay? I looked anyway. I went home for $200 round trip. $200 round trip. And as I was driving to the airport, I had to pull the car over because tears just started streaming down my face because it hit me. You did it, Dar. You did it. You stood in the midst of every appearance that showed up this year. You stood. And here you are driving to the airport. Somebody said once, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I don't think we had to go that far in, but I gotta tell you, I have felt much stronger since that experience. All these appearances, they come with stories, they come with memories, they come with fear, a lot of fear. But you know what I heard once that moved me? Perfect love cast out all fear. All I'm being told is go to love, Dar. And what is love to me? It is oneness. It is bringing it all together without separation. Perfect love cast out all fear. And those words come to me. This isn't something that I rehearse, really and truly. They just come to me in the perfect moment. I remember one day during that year, I was going through just all kinds of stuff. And all of a sudden, I heard myself saying, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change that which I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I didn't even know I knew those words. They were just coming through me. And you know why they were coming through me? Because I was open to them. I was open and receptive to receiving something, anything that would help. Are you open? When you're moving through something that just seems intolerable and impossible, whatever that is, are you open to receive? Because we're dealing with a power and presence that is omniscient, all-knowing, all-powerful, omnipresent, all-powerful. It's here. It's here for us right now. And the one thing, another thing I think, Ernest Holmes helped me with this so much. Because he kept repeating it in different things that I was reading. He said, facts change. Appearances change. But truth never changes. It's something that we can rely on in any situation we're moving through. What is the truth of this experience? I've been in situations where it feels like the very thing that I need in that moment is missing. Prosperity is missing. Everybody else got it. Why didn't I get it? Joy is missing. Everybody else is happy. Why can't I be happy? And you know, one of the reasons is that what we don't recognize, and I mentioned this yesterday a couple of times, but I never explained it. What we don't recognize is that every quality of our divine essence, love, light, power, peace, beauty, joy, prosperity, freedom, health, wholeness, harmony, wisdom, creativity, success, truth. Every single one of those qualities is a choice. We don't have to create any of those qualities. We choose them, and we stand in them. And to the degree that we believe that it is present, it responds automatically. I can still hear Reverend Andy saying that the day he got his minister's license. He was telling me what happened in the exam. He said, and I told him, that law that we're dealing with is automatic. You don't have to make it work. It's going to respond to whatever it is that we're accepting. But I'm talking about truly accepting it. Sri Aurobindo, an Indian philosopher, wrote, "The transcendence doesn't reconcile, it transmutes." Now, I looked at that for a long time and I was like, what is he even talking about? But you know, what I had to do, I had to just sit with it. And these aren't homework assignments. This is just something, I'm just curious. I want to know. Sit with it. And maybe even just look it up. Each word. Reconcile. So this transcendence doesn't reconcile. See, reconciliation tries to make peace with limitation, as though limitation were permanent. Transcendence doesn't reconcile. It does not make peace with limitation. It doesn't say, well, you just got to live with this and just keep moving. Huh. Can you even feel the lightness in that? I don't have to just live with this, no matter what it is. In fact, I believe these experiences come to us to help us to break through the limitation, to help us to remember the truth, to break through that ceiling, whether it's glass or anything else, concrete it can be, because it has no power over truth. So I don't have to live with this. I need to get above it. Move to a space in consciousness where it does not and cannot exist. And that's any experience we're going through. It doesn't matter if it's our health, our prosperity, our relationships, our joy, or any of those things that we're moving through. We do it the same way. What's the truth of this situation? Could my prosperity ever be missing? No. Could my joy ever be missing? But it feels like it's not here, but could it be missing? Could my love ever be missing? We're made of love. How could it ever be missing? We're made of every single one of these qualities. Nothing missing, nothing broken. It's here. It's given. It's ours. And it's never left, nor will it ever leave. What a gift. But we have to claim it, don't we? We have to claim it, and we have to accept it. But let me tell you something. When you accept it, when you claim the truth, it will set you free. Every single time. And that's not the way I wanted to say it, but I'm in church, okay? I'm telling you, it will set you free. Because when you know the truth, you'll realize that there's nothing here that can bind me. There's nothing here that can hold me back. There's nothing to fight here. There's nothing to overcome here. This is what I want you to just, as appearances show up in our lives, no matter what area in our life they're in. Before I say this, the reason that I keep going back to our divine essence, that love, light, power, peace, beauty, joy, prosperity, freedom, health, wholeness, harmony, wisdom, creativity, success, and truth. The reason I keep going back to it and saying all those words is because no matter what you're going through, if there's a problem, you're feeling like one of those is missing. And it can't be. That's what's so beautiful. It can't be missing. And that's all we're required to do, to wake up to this, to stand in this. It's here. I don't feel it. I don't see it. But I know it's got to be here. And what if I just allow myself to be still? Be still, Dar, and let yourself feel what's trying to lift you, as Christina said so beautifully this morning in her reading. But that's my message this morning. I want you to just recognize that right where we are, every moment of every day, this power and this presence is. I like is. I like that word. Isness is our business. Yeah. Stand in that isness. Stand in that knowing. And let it come through you. And it will amaze you. So many times in my life that this has happened to me. And what I realize is, I've been working way too hard. Really and truly. Because I thought I had to do all this myself. That's not what we're teaching. We're teaching that we know the truth, we stand in that truth, and we let it come through us. Because the only way that we can experience it is for it to come through us. So that's the lesson. You got it? Okay, let it be your way, and so it is. So much. Thank you guys. You are absolutely wonderful. I got chills again. So, what do we do now, Jer?
You can give us a nice prayer, and then we're going to go with
Okay, great. Oh,
we're not closing now.
we're just praying. Okay, so let's know right now that right where we are in this moment, there is so much good. We are immersed in a field, a mind, where all things are possible and all things are present. And as we recognize this, we realize that we are supported everything that we could ever ask for, every perceived need that we have in our life, everything is here, and it is all here now. And it has already been given. And as we recognize that it's good enough to be true, that it's good enough to be ours, we give it permission by awakening to it and letting it express through us in a way that goes beyond anything we have ever experienced before. Love is here. And we use it to cast out any and all fear that we have been experiencing. Truth is here. And as we stand in it, we can even feel it setting us free from anything unlike itself. I am so grateful for this morning, for this ability to share this truth, the greatest thing we can share with anyone, the greatest gift we can give to anyone. And so as we receive it, all of us, we give it permission to reveal something new, something wonderful, something beautiful, and something perfect that already lives within us. And we let it be our way. And for this I give thanks, and let it be so, and so it is. Okay, thank you.
I walk in God.